You're looking
Oh, you
official
look-
and ready. Fridays, you will...
That is a professional outfit. Are you trying to prove to us that you are a real doctor?
Either that or you're in your pyjamas.
I'm trying to prove it. I'll be in clinic straight after this, which is why I'm here.
We were just talking about how for many people wake up this morning, first day of half term for lots of youngsters. It doesn't feel that different, but lots of hints over the weekend that change could be coming. So big news, vaccine hit that 15 million ahead of target, great. And we're looking ahead to the roadmap. What do you think of these ideas that maybe as sooner than we thought, grandparents could meet up with youngsters, children could get together? Have you got a sort of medical instinct about that?
Yeah, morning, everyone.
Morning.
It's great news that we've had the vaccine, really turn out well, thanks to the NHS as a whole, really. But we've got to be optimistic about the things we know about. We know that hospital numbers, people in hospital with COVID are coming down. They're still comparable with the April peaks. Vaccination numbers have come out really, really well. The R rate in the vast majority of the country is below 1. Positive cases are coming down as well. We've got new treatments like tocilizumab. All of these are things to be optimistic about. But, and this is where my medical hat comes in, we've got to be mindful about rushing out of a lockdown too quickly. We all want this to be the last lockdown that we're in. And we've got to be careful about how we come out of it, because the vast majority of positive cases are still in the younger age groups, and those people have not been vaccinated. And yes, they may not be as high risk for hospital admission, but there is still a risk of things like long COVID and morbidity as a result of getting coronavirus. So when we are looking at easing lockdown, I think we've got to do it step by step, really, really carefully. We've got to make sure schools and workplaces are protected and COVID safe if that's possible. And we've got to really ramp up vaccination to the next groups as well. And test and trace really has to work, and supported isolation is key for this roadmap out of lockdown.
Do you have a number in mind, Amir? I imagine that the government, as they're doing all the things you do, weigh that up, and we are going to hear more about the roadmap this time next week, aren't we? That's what we're promised. But do you have a number in mind of where the R rate should be and the vaccination number should be? Have you got a sense of that from talking to your colleagues, of what would make you more comfortable before restrictions are eased?
Not a specific number. We've got the highest vulnerable groups vaccinated, but we've still got to be mindful that people with learning difficulties or disabilities who are at high risk of death have still not been vaccinated, and we've got to get them done before we really look at easing lockdowns. They're still a very vulnerable group. The younger age groups who are clinically vulnerable have yet to be vaccinated as well. So yes, we've done the older people, but we haven't done a lot of the people who are at high risk of getting COVID and getting complications from it as well. So I'd be more comfortable once we've got them vaccinated, I think.
Interesting news about a vaccine trial that's been held on children this morning, the Oxford-AstraZeneca coronavirus vaccine, just to test to see how well it works on kids. Some 300 volunteers are going to take part in these first vaccinations taking place later in February. It's an interesting dilemma, this, isn't it? So far, the children we are led to believe are cope pretty well on the whole if they do come in contact with coronavirus, but actually, as we know, we want to protect as many people as we can. What do you make of this trial and the implications of it, Amir?
I think it's interesting. So this is the Oxford-AstraZeneca vaccine. They've got about 240 children volunteering to be vaccinated, and they're going to look at their immune response. So they're going to take 5 blood tests from these children who have volunteered over 12 months. Half of them will be given the vaccine, half of them will be given a placebo vaccine, probably the meningitis C vaccine. Now, it's important to note that, children are vaccinated right from an early age, and it's not unusual for vaccines to be trialled on children to make sure they are safe. The MMR would have gone through that exact same process. Yes, children are at low risk of getting complications, dying, but it's not impossible. The Royal College of Paediatricians have said it's low risk for children, but important that those that are clinically vulnerable are protected. And we don't know about their role in transmission. I think, with this coronavirus, it's important not to treat it like flu. I know Matt Hancock suggested over the weekend that we could live alongside it like flu. I think that's really dangerous. We've got to treat it more like measles or TB, really vaccinate hard, including younger people, possibly children if this trial proves successful, and then control outbreaks as they come, as we would do with measles. So I think this trial is really, really important from that point of view.